I've just been explaining the first home scheme, which is designed to help people who can't come up with the full cost of a house. The state can step in and buy part of the house. Now, there's also a scheme to help people, meet their deposit, or to assist people to pay their deposit, because a lot of the people who are anxious to purchase houses, they're renting at the moment, and rents are so high it's very hard to save. So this new scheme is called the Help to Buy scheme. Now, if you're availing of the first home scheme, the previous scheme I mentioned, you can also avail of this. You can avail of both schemes together. They're both available to assist you. The first thing is that the Help to Buy scheme involves you claiming back your income tax for the past 4 years. Now, the maximum you can get under the Help to Buy scheme is 30,000, or 10% of the value of the house, whichever is lesser. So, for example, if the house is, say, valued at take a house that's valued at 400,000. Take a house, first of all, that's valued at 300,000. You can get 10% or 30,000, or 10% of 300,000 is 30,000, so you can get 30,000. If the house you're buying is worth 400,000, you can still only get 30,000, because 30,000 is the maximum figure. Now, there is only one situation in which the figure can drop below either 10% or 30,000, and it's this: if you haven't that amount of tax paid for the last 4 years. Suppose, for example, you've only 20,000, say, tax paid for the last 4 years, then all you'll be able to get is 20,000. Just to explain that. Now, if the house you're purchasing is costing over 500,000, 500,000, you're out of luck. The Help to Buy scheme is not applicable to you. Now, one thing I want to point out to people, I'd often be discussing with people how to get their deposit, how much the deposit would be, etc. And most people would have part of it, or some people might have it all, but a lot of people would have just a part of it. Now, in many cases, certainly for houses of 300,000 or less, the deposit would cover, the Help to Buy scheme would cover the full deposit. But most, I think all lending institutions, including the local authorities even, will try to ensure, before they lend you the money, they will try to ensure that there's some evidence of saving. You'll have to have some viewpoints. Let's assume that you're getting, say, 30,000 towards the cost of a 300,000 house. You'll have to come up with some of the money up front. You may have to come up with up to 10,000 up front rather than the 30,000. But you will get the full amount you're entitled to, under the Help to Buy scheme. But you will have to come up with some money up front, even though the Help to Buy scheme is covering the full cost of the deposit. You also have to bear in mind that you'll need some savings anyway to pay solicitors, to pay stamp duty, to pay maybe for other things such as the valuation of the house. Now, as I've said, if the house is costing more than 500,000, you're out of luck. You can't apply. There are a number of other rules surrounding the Help to Buy scheme which people should be aware of. The first one is that the loan you're getting must be at least 70% of the value of the property. The second thing is that the builder or the developer you're dealing with has to be registered with the scheme. And there's a list of developers who are registered with the scheme. You can easily check that. And secondly, it's only for owners occupiers, people who are buying houses for investment or to rent them out or whatever. Doesn't apply in that situation. It's only for owner occupiers of new houses, new houses or new apartments. And finally, this application is effectively looking for repayment of income tax that you have paid, so the application will have to be to the Revenue Commissioners.